So Romelu Lukaku's future at Manchester United is very much up in the air heading into the summer. The Belgian striker has said that his future lies in the hands of those in power at Old Trafford, and he has been heavily linked with the move to Italy, with Inter Milan in particular taking an interest in the former Everton striker. Now, Tommy hasn't had his best season in Manchester United colours by any stretch of the imagination. Seems to be a little unhappy with life in Manchester. Could you see him moving on?
Yeah, certainly could. He only got 12 Premier League goals last season, which is an okay tally, but not really enough if you're playing for a top six club as the central striker. And the fact he's been picking up a lot of flack from Manchester United supporters and not being guaranteed to start towards the final few months of the campaign, I can certainly see his thinking and perhaps wanting to move on. And it's very interesting that he says it's in the club's hands. If he wanted to stay, I'm sure he could come out and say, I want to be at Manchester United next season. The fact he hasn't done that, and with the interest from Inter Milan, Juventus, another team that have been a little bit more tepidly linked, but have been linked. So perhaps he's thinking a move to Italy, a fresh start, could be the best thing all round.
Yeah, he seems to want to try his hand away from England, and Serie A would appear to be the preferred destination. So what about the future for Manchester United then? If Lukaku leaves, he'd leave a big hole in that starting lineup. The obvious candidates to replace him from the current United squad, Marcus Rashford and Anthony Martial, but they only got 12 and 13 goals respectively between them last season in all competitions. So it would certainly mean that they would have to raise their game to replace Lukaku.
Absolutely, and perhaps the time for one of them is now. They're both in their early 20s, both got 2 or 3 seasons under their belt of regular first-team football. And Marcus Rashford in particular, he wants to play as a central striker. A lot of his early United career has been on the left or on the right. If he can get a run of 10, 20 games in a row starting in his preferred position, he could be the player to step up and score the 20, 25 goals that really Manchester United, a team of their calibre, need. They've got to have at least one player in their squad every season hitting that mark. And the only obvious candidate for me would be Marcus Rashford.
Yeah, it doesn't look like it's going to be Alexis Sanchez given his recent form. Mason Greenwood, who's been excellent for United reserves, might well get the chance with Solskjaer looking at youth. In terms of players who might come in, there's not been too many linked, but Jadon Sancho and Gareth Bale are 2 possible candidates that have been mentioned in connection with Manchester United, but again, not the same type of player as Lukaku.
No, they'd be missing a big focal point, if you like, in the final third if they were to get rid of Lukaku and only bringing these kind of players. Look, players like Gareth Bale and Jadon Sancho are fantastic, and perhaps this is what Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is trying to do. He's trying to move away from having a big central striker and wants something a little bit more fluid, with players that can start on the right, move to the left, and then end up in the middle as well. So a three-pronged attack with a lot of fluidity. That's seemingly what Ole Gunnar Solskjaer wants to do, and if Romelu Lukaku doesn't fit into that kind of thinking, then he'll have to move on, and it could be someone like Jadon Sancho or even a Gareth Bale leading the line next term.
Yeah, it could well be. Who would you like Manchester United to sign? Should Lukaku stay? Give us your thoughts on social media, and don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel.